Hi everyone, I'm going to talk you through how to do the 8th grade IXL, that is Dilations Graph the Image. It's 9T4, and so here we go. First of all, let's read and ask what it says. Graph the image triangle STU after a dilation with a scale factor of 4 centered at the origin. So as we're annotating things we need to know, scale factor of 4, so it's going to get 4 times bigger, and it's centered around the origin, so that's my center. So here's my center of dilation, and remember we talked about how we need to go up and over to find the point, and then we'll find our new point after we take each of those numbers times 4, since that's the scale factor. So let's start with point U. I would go up 2 over 1. So scale factor is 4, so instead of going up 2 times 4 is 8, I'm going to go up 8. U went over 1, so I take that times 4. I now need to go over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my point U. Okay, let's look at S. S went up 0 and to the left 2, or to negative 2. So up 0, if I take it times 4, it's still going to go up 0. And instead of over to negative 2, I take it times 4. I need to go to negative 8 right here. Now let's look at point T. Point T went up 1 and it went to the left 2. So again, if it went up 1, I take that times 4. So I need to go up 4. It went over 2, I take that times 4. Now I need to go over to the negative 8. There's my new shape. All right, we're going to jump a level. Teachers can do that. You don't get to, but we can. All right, so this one says graph this rectangle after a dilation with a scale factor of 1/4 centered at the origin. So again, my center point is the origin. My scale factor is 1/4. So since that number is smaller than 1, my shape is going to get smaller. So let's start with point T. Point T, again, how many did it go up? It went up 8 and it went to the right 4. So I'm going to have to take each of those numbers times 1/4, which is the same as dividing by 4. So it went up 8. So 1/4 of 8, or 8 divided by 4, would be 2. So now it's going to go up 2. And then it went over 4, but 4 times 1/4, or 4 divided by 4, would be 1. So this would be my new point T at 1, 2. Okay, let's look at point S down here. So it went down 8, or down to negative 8, and it went across 4. So again, I have to take each of those numbers, 8 and 4 times 1/4, which is the same as dividing by 4. So 8 divided by 4 would be 2, so I'm going to go down to negative 2. And then instead of over 4, 4 times 1/4, or 4 divided by 4 is 1, I'm going to go over to 1. Let's look at point R. Point R, we went down 8, over to the left 8, to negative 8. So 8 times 1/4 would be 2. So I'm going to go down 2 and over 2. So it would be my point negative 2, negative 2. Let's look at point U. Point U is up 8 over 8. Again, 8 times 1/4, or divided by 4, would be 2. So I'm going to go up 2. And it was 8 the other direction, so over 2. There's my new rectangle. Okay, let me jump up a level again. Let's try one more. Okay, this one has a scale factor of 5. Graph the image of the square after a dilation with a scale factor of 5 centered at the origin. Again, things we have to know. Scale factor of 5 centered at the origin. We always have to know that for a dilation. So let's start right here. Point E is at the point we went up 0 over 1. If I take each of those numbers times 5, up 0, 0 times 5 would be 0. 1 times 5 would be 5. We'll go over to 5. Right? Let's look at point F. Point F went up 2 over 1. I take each of those numbers by 5, so now I need to go up 10. And instead of over 1, 1 times 5 would be 5, over to 5. Let's look at point G. It went up 2 to the left 1, same thing, up 2 times 5 would be up 10. Left 1. 1 times 5 would be 1 times 5 would be 5, so we'd be at negative 5. Let's look at D. It went up 0 over 1. 0 times 5 is 0, so still up 0. Over 1, 1 times 5 is 5, so I need to go over to the left 5, and there's my shape. All right, I hope this helps. Good luck on your IXL.